Like a beloved book, certain relationships leave their indelible marks, not just on the pages of our memory, but on the very binding of our souls. Before the grand narratives of enduring partnership or the quiet sorrow of parting, there are the initial brushstrokes, the nascent connections that first teach us the language of the heart. These are the echoes of first light, the genesis of our understanding of human connection. They are often fleeting, sometimes unrequited, yet their imprint is profound, shaping the very architecture of our emotional lives. Consider the childhood friendship, perhaps with a neighbor or a classmate, that felt as vast and unbreakable as the sky itself. The world, then, was a place of endless possibility, and these early companions were our co-explorers. We learned trust, shared secrets whispered in the twilight, and discovered the simple joy of being truly seen. These bonds, even if they dissolved with time and distance, laid the groundwork for how we would later seek and value connection. They taught us the comfort of a shared presence, the unspoken understanding that can exist between two souls. Is it not remarkable how a fleeting childhood bond can still evoke such a clear, almost tactile memory decades later? This enduring resonance speaks to the power of these foundational experiences. Then, there is the quiet memory of a first romantic interest. Perhaps it was a shy glance across a crowded room, a nervous conversation, or a hand brushed accidentally. For many of us, this wasn't a whirlwind romance, but rather a gentle awakening, a first whisper of a different kind of connection. It might have been unrequited, a silent longing carried within, but it was deeply felt. This initial stirring of romantic affection, however innocent or brief, introduced us to the vulnerability that comes with desiring another, to the exquisite thrill and subtle ache of a heart opening for the first time. It's a universal experience, this tender vulnerability, much like the first delicate bloom of a perennial in spring, promising beauty yet susceptible to the late frost. These early imprints, whether from a steadfast friend or a nascent crush, are not merely faded photographs in the mind's album. They are active forces, subtly influencing our choices, our expectations, and our fears in later relationships. They form the initial contours of our love map, guiding our subconscious navigation through the intricate terrain of human attachment. Psychological studies on attachment theory consistently highlight the profound impact of early bonding experiences. The security or insecurity we felt in our earliest relationships, often with primary caregivers, establishes a template for how we approach all subsequent connections. But beyond these foundational family ties, the friendships and first affections of youth also play a crucial role. They are our first forays into independent bonding, our initial experiments with intimacy outside the family unit. The amygdala, that small almond-shaped region in our brain, is particularly active in processing emotional memories, especially those associated with strong feelings like love. This neurological reality explains why certain scents, songs, or even turns of phrase can instantly transport us back to those formative moments, evoking a cascade of emotions that feel as fresh as yesterday. It's not just nostalgia. It's a deeply wired response to the emotional significance of those early connections. We're not simply remembering. We're reliving, in a sense, the emotional landscape of our youth. Consider the cultural significance of first love narratives, from ancient myths to modern novels. They speak to a universal human truth. These initial encounters with love, in all its forms, are pivotal. They are the first lines written in the story of our hearts, and even if the subsequent chapters diverge wildly, those opening sentences set the tone. A conversation with a wise elder, perhaps a grandparent or beloved teacher, might have offered early insights into the complexities of human relationships. Their quiet wisdom, often distilled from a lifetime of experience, could have provided a compass in those early, confusing navigations of affection and belonging. Such guidance, offered with gentle understanding, becomes another indelible mark on our emotional landscape. These early experiences, like the initial threads of a finely woven tapestry, determine the pattern and strength of the entire fabric. They teach us not just about others, but profoundly about ourselves, our capacity for joy, our resilience in the face of disappointment, and our inherent need for connection. They are the quiet architects of our emotional being, shaping our capacity for love long before we fully understand what love truly means. The quiet melancholy that often accompanies the memory of these first connections is not a sorrow of regret, but rather a tender acknowledgement of the passage of time, a recognition of the beautiful, fragile nature of all beginnings. It is the bittersweet understanding that while some paths diverged, the profound ways in which they shaped us remain. These echoes are not ghosts, but rather the foundational chords of our emotional symphony, still resonating within us. Do we ever truly outgrow the lessons learned from our first heart connections? Perhaps not, for they continue to whisper through the years, subtly guiding our steps and coloring our perceptions. These early impressions, whether a forgotten childhood oath or a first tentative romantic gesture, are more than mere recollections. They are the bedrock upon which our capacity for deep connection is built. They teach us the profound joy of belonging and the quiet ache of separation, preparing us for the intricate dance of love and loss that will define our lives. They are the genesis, the first tender shoots from which the complex garden of our heart begins to grow. And so, these initial sparks, however fleeting, shape the very architecture of our emotional lives, preparing us to explore their lasting impact as we move from these foundational echoes to the sustained melodies of enduring bonds. Just as a gardener tends to a perennial, nurturing growth through seasons of bloom and dormancy, so too does love require constant, gentle attention to thrive. Our earliest connections, those foundational echoes, lay the groundwork, but it is in the sustained effort, the daily tending, that love truly blossoms and endures. It's a dance through changing landscapes, from the vibrant greens of spring to the muted golds of autumn, each season demanding its own particular care. Consider the long-married couple, their hands gnarled by time, yet still finding comfort in the familiar touch. Their love isn't the fiery passion of youth, but something deeper, woven from countless shared mornings and quiet evenings. It is a companionate love, as psychologists might describe it, distinct from the initial passionate surge, yet profoundly rich. This enduring bond is often built not on grand pronouncements, but on the small, almost imperceptible acts of kindness. The remembered preference for a certain tea, the unspoken understanding in a shared glance across a crowded room. These relationships, much like ancient trees, have seen many storms. They've weathered the gales of career changes, the seismic shifts of raising children, the quiet anxieties of financial ebbs and flows. Yet they stand, often stronger for the trials endured. How do they do it? It's a question that echoes through generations. Perhaps it's the conscious choice, day after day, to turn towards one another, even when the path ahead seems obscured. It's the commitment to understanding, even when understanding feels elusive. Think of a sibling bond that has spanned decades, the easy familiarity, the shared history that no one else can quite comprehend. These are threads in the tapestry. They've seen each other at their best and their worst, and still, the connection remains, a quiet, unwavering presence. Or the lifelong friendship, a steadfast anchor in a turbulent world. These are not merely acquaintances. They are witnesses to our lives, repositories of shared memories, and confidants in our deepest vulnerabilities. Sociological observations often highlight the importance of community support in sustaining these bonds. It's not just the two individuals, but the wider network, family, friends, neighbors, who, in their own ways, provide the soil and sunlight for these relationships to flourish. They offer encouragement, a listening ear, or simply a shared meal that reinforces the fabric of connection. This nurturing isn't always easy. Like a garden, there are weeds that must be pulled, misunderstandings, resentments, the subtle creep of neglect. There are periods of dormancy where the connection feels less vibrant, less urgent. But even in dormancy, the roots are still there, drawing sustenance, waiting for the return of spring. The beauty lies in this continuous cycle of tending, of adapting, of finding new ways to grow together. It's about remembering the journey, not just the destination, and appreciating the resilience inherent in a love that has truly unfolded over time. This appreciation often comes with a tender nostalgia, not for what has been lost, but for the richness of what has been built, brick by patient brick, moment by quiet moment. Consider the matriarch of a family, whose enduring love for her spouse and children became the very bedrock upon which generations were built. Her story, often told in hushed tones, speaks of sacrifices, of unwavering support, of a quiet strength that transcended personal desires for the greater good of the family unit. Her relationship wasn't without its challenges, its moments of doubt or disagreement, but it was characterized by a deep, abiding respect and a shared vision for their future. This kind of love, often unflashy, is the very essence of endurance. It's the quiet hum in the background of life, always present, always supportive. We often look for grand romantic gestures, the sweeping declarations we see in films. But in the sustained bonds of real life, love often expresses itself in the mundane, the everyday. It's the partner who knows exactly how you like your coffee, or the friend who calls just when you need to hear a familiar voice. These are the small yet profound affirmations that we are seen, understood, and cherished. They are the quiet miracles of a love that has taken root and grown deep. What does it mean to truly sustain a bond over many decades? It means learning to speak without words, to anticipate needs, to forgive imperfections, and to celebrate the smallest victories. It means understanding that people change, and that love must change with them, evolving from one form to another, always holding on to the core thread of connection. It's a continuous process of rediscovery, where the familiar becomes new again, seen through the lens of accumulated experience. The comfort found in a shared silence, the knowing glance that conveys an entire conversation. These are the hallmarks of a love that has been carefully tended, year after year, through all of life's seasons. It is a profound testament to human connection, a quiet defiance against the transient nature of so much else in the world. And in this defiance, there is an inherent beauty, a gentle strength that reassures and inspires. The true strength of these enduring relationships lies not in their lack of conflict, but in their capacity to navigate it, to repair, and to recommit. It's the conscious turning towards each other after a disagreement, the willingness to listen and to mend, that solidifies the bond. It is the recognition that love is not merely a feeling, but a deliberate act of will, a continuous choice to invest in another's well-being and in the shared narrative that binds two souls together. This journey of nurturing and sustaining love imbues life with a profound richness. It teaches patience, empathy, and the quiet joy of interdependence. The tapestry woven from these enduring threads becomes a source of comfort and strength, a testament to the resilience of the human heart. It is the quiet understanding that the deepest roots allow for the most beautiful blooms, even as the seasons inevitably turn. Yet, even the most cherished gardens face changing seasons, and the most enduring tapestries are not immune to the unraveling threads of time. For all the beauty in sustaining love, there are inevitable challenges, partings, and moments of quiet ache that remind us of love's inherent vulnerability, preparing us for the shadows that sometimes fall across even the brightest paths. The quiet ache of a love that was, not because it ended badly, but simply because it ended, is a testament to its profound beginning. Life, in its relentless unfolding, often asks us to contend with the profound paradox of connection, that the very depth of our bonds makes us exquisitely vulnerable to their eventual absence. After all, how can we truly appreciate the warmth of the sun without having known the chill of winter? So too, the vibrant tapestry of sustained love, which we explored in the previous chapter, inevitably casts shadows. These are not shadows of fault or failure, but simply the natural consequence of time's passage and life's inherent impermanence. We speak not only of the ultimate parting that death brings, but also of the countless smaller losses that accrue over a lifetime, friendships that gently fade, paths that diverge, unspoken words that linger like ghosts in the quiet corners of the heart. Consider the myriad forms loss takes. There is, of course, the stark, undeniable finality of death, a chasm that opens abruptly, swallowing laughter and shared futures. The passing of a beloved partner, a parent, a dear friend. These moments reshape the very landscape of our existence. For instance, a woman I knew, Martha, spoke of her husband's passing not as a sudden void, but as if a vital, resonant chord in her own being had simply ceased to vibrate. For years she would instinctively reach for his hand in the car, or turn to share a quiet observation, only to be met by absence. This isn't a flaw in her memory. It's the enduring imprint of profound connection. But loss is not always so dramatic. Think of the friendships that, like old photographs, slowly lose their vibrant color, fading into sepia-toned memories. There was a time when Sarah and Eleanor were inseparable, their lives intertwined with shared secrets and dreams. Then, a move, a new job, different life stages, and slowly, imperceptibly, the calls became less frequent, the visits rarer, until one day, the silence between them was louder than any conversation they might have had. No dramatic falling out, no harsh words, just a gentle, sorrowful drifting apart. This quiet dissolution, though less outwardly traumatic than death, leaves its own unique ache, a subtle questioning of what might have been, a soft regret for the path not taken together. Then there are the missed opportunities, the what-ifs that haunt the quieter hours. Perhaps a word left unsaid, an apology withheld, a chance for reconciliation that slipped through our fingers like sand. These aren't necessarily grand romantic tragedies, but rather the smaller, poignant moments where a different choice might have led to a different outcome. We carry these roads not taken within us, not as burdens, but as gentle reminders of the delicate balance of human interaction. It's a recognition that every decision, every omission, carries its own weight in the intricate dance of relationships. Understanding grief, in all its forms, is crucial. It is not merely a reaction to an ending, but rather a testament to the depth of what was. Imagine a tree whose roots have grown deep and wide, intertwining with another. When one tree is removed, the remaining one feels the disturbance, the empty space where its roots once found purchase. This isn't weakness. It's evidence of the profound connection that existed. Psychologists often describe grief not as a linear process with distinct stages, but as a more fluid experience, a dual process model, where we oscillate between confronting the loss and finding ways to live with it, integrating it into our ongoing lives. It's a continuous dance between remembering and rebuilding, a testament to our capacity for resilience. The vulnerability inherent in deep connection is perhaps the most challenging aspect of love. To open our hearts completely, to allow another person to truly see us, is to risk profound pain. Yet, it is precisely this vulnerability that allows for the most exquisite intimacy, the most profound joy. We cannot have one without the other. It's like walking into a beautiful garden. We admire the vibrant blooms, but we also know that thorns exist, and that even the most beautiful flower will eventually fade. To deny the possibility of sorrow is to deny the possibility of true joy. This isn't to say that we should dwell in sadness, but rather to acknowledge its rightful place within the spectrum of human emotion. The ache of a lost love, whether through death or distance, is not a sign of failure, but a measure of its significance. It's a quiet echo, a reverberation in the soul that reminds us of the beautiful music that once played. These shadows, though they may dim our light for a time, ultimately deepen our understanding of ourselves and of the precious, fragile nature of human connection. They teach us empathy, patience, and a profound appreciation for the moments we do have. Think of the way a river carves its path through stone over centuries. Each curve, each eddy, is a result of the water's persistent flow, encountering resistance, changing direction, yet always moving forward. Our hearts, too, are shaped by the currents of love and loss. Each goodbye, each separation, leaves a subtle indentation, altering the course of our emotional landscape. These aren't scars in the sense of disfigurement, but rather markings that tell the story of our journey, a map of where we have been and who we have become. They are a testament to a life lived with an open heart, a life that dared to connect deeply, knowing the risks involved. Even in the quietest moments, when memory stirs and a wave of sorrow washes over us, there is a certain beauty in it. It's the beauty of having truly loved, of having allowed another's presence to become so woven into our own fabric that their absence leaves a noticeable thread. This isn't a morbid fascination with pain, but a recognition of the profound interconnectedness of human experience. It's the understanding that the tears we shed are not just for what is lost, but for the preciousness of what was. And in this understanding, there is a quiet dignity, a profound acceptance. The true profundity of loss, then, lies not in its ability to diminish us, but in its capacity to reveal the immense, often unseen, architecture of love that once supported us. It strips away the superficial, leaving only the raw, undeniable truth of what someone meant, and continues to mean. It is in these moments of profound vulnerability, when the scaffolding of a relationship is removed, that we truly grasp the intricate design of its construction. The quiet ache we feel is not merely pain, it is the echo of a once vibrant connection, a silent testament to its enduring power. It is the heart's way of whispering, "This mattered, this was real, and it shaped me." Embracing this reality, the full arc of love and loss, allows us to move forward, not unburdened, but enriched. We carry our quiet aches not as weights, but as cherished reminders of the depth of our capacity for connection. These shadows, rather than obscuring the light, define its brilliance, giving contrast to the ephemeral joys we will explore next. They teach us a profound appreciation for the present moment, for the connections we still hold, and for the courage it takes to love fully, knowing that sorrow is an inevitable companion to joy. It is a mature love, one that understands that vulnerability is not a weakness, but the very gateway to our deepest humanity. We learn that the beauty of love is not diminished by its ending, but rather illuminated by the very fact that it left such an indelible mark. And so, as we acknowledge these shadows and silences, we find ourselves better prepared to truly see and celebrate the flashes of profound joy that punctuate our lives. For it is often after traversing the valleys of sorrow that the peaks of happiness shine with an even greater, more poignant brilliance. The heart, having known the ache of absence, learns to cherish presence with a heightened sense of gratitude, ready to embrace the ephemeral joys that await. We often measure love in grand gestures, but its truest form often whispers in the shared silences, the knowing glances, the gentle, unwavering presence. After navigating the quiet ache of loss, the human heart, remarkably resilient, seeks and finds solace not always in the monumental, but in the tender, fleeting moments that punctuate life's journey. These are the ephemeral joys, the unexpected bursts of light that remind us of love's enduring capacity to uplift, even when shadows linger near. It is in the quiet understanding exchanged across a crowded room, a silent acknowledgement that speaks volumes more than any spoken word. Think of the way an old friend can convey comfort with just a look, a shared memory flickering between their eyes, bridging years of separate lives. This isn't the dramatic declaration of a romantic film. It's the gentle, almost imperceptible hum of connection that truly sustains us. Consider the simple act of a partner reaching for your hand during a difficult conversation, not to interrupt, but to offer silent strength, or the way a grandchild's spontaneous laughter can dissolve the most stubborn anxieties, a pure, unadulterated sound that reminds you of life's inherent goodness. These small, often unrecorded instances are the true jewels in love's crown. They are the subtle affirmations that, despite the inevitable partings and the what-ifs that haunt our memories, the capacity for profound, unadulterated joy remains vibrantly alive. Psychological research, in fact, underscores the profound impact of these positive emotions and gratitude on our overall well-being. It's not the absence of sorrow that defines contentment, but the ability to truly savor these moments of light. The nonverbal cues, a warm smile, a comforting touch, the shared rhythm of breathing next to someone you cherish. These are the ancient languages of connection, understood long before words were ever formed. They bypass the intellect and speak directly to the soul, reaffirming our primal need for belonging and affection. I recall a time, not so long ago, when a close friend and I were navigating a particularly trying period. We sat together, not speaking much, simply watching the rain fall against the window pane. There was no need for grand pronouncements of support. Her mere presence, the quiet rustle of her turning a page in her book, the shared warmth of the tea in our hands, it was a balm. In that shared silence, an entire conversation of empathy and understanding unfolded, a testament to the power of simply being with someone. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated connection, a reminder that love often whispers its deepest truths. These are the moments that become the anchors of our emotional landscape, not just fleeting sensations. They are the vivid threads woven into the fabric of our memory, providing warmth and color against the more somber hues of loss. They teach us gratitude, a profound appreciation for the simple act of connection itself. When we allow ourselves to truly feel these small joys, to be present in them, we cultivate a resilience that helps us weather life's inevitable storms. The beauty of these ephemeral joys lies in their accessibility. They don't require elaborate plans or perfect circumstances. They often emerge from the most mundane settings: a shared meal, a walk in the park, a quiet evening by the fire. It is in these unscripted moments that love reveals its most authentic self, stripped of expectations and pretense. Think of a time when a simple, unexpected act of kindness from a loved one brought you immense comfort. Perhaps it was a partner remembering a small preference, an old friend sending a thoughtful card, or a child's spontaneous hug. These are not merely pleasant occurrences. They are vital infusions of warmth into the heart, reminding us that we are seen, valued, and loved. They are the counter-narrative to the tales of sorrow, proving that even in the aftermath of loss, the wellspring of joy never truly runs dry. These glimpses of profound connection serve as vital nourishment for the soul, especially after traversing the terrain of loss. They are the gentle rain after a long drought, revitalizing the spirit and reminding us of the inherent beauty in human interaction. They affirm that while love may bring sorrow, it also brings an unparalleled capacity for delight and shared warmth. We often find ourselves searching for grand narratives, for the sweeping romances and dramatic resolutions. Yet, the most profound experiences of love are often found in the quiet, unassuming moments. The shared smile with a stranger, the knowing glance with a longtime partner, the simple comfort of a hand held in silence. These are the true measures of connection. They are the tiny, luminous stars that guide us through the darkest nights, reminding us that light is always present, if only we choose to see it. These moments are not merely fleeting. They accumulate, forming a rich tapestry of positive experiences that fortify our emotional core. They are the psychological equivalent of building up a reserve, a reservoir of cherished memories that we can draw upon during times of hardship. This is why cultivating gratitude for these small joys is not just a pleasant exercise, but a vital practice for emotional well-being. It shifts our focus from what is absent to what is abundantly present, even in the quietest corners of our lives. Consider the profound impact of a shared laugh, so infectious and genuine that it leaves you breathless. Such moments are not just about humor, they are about connection, about a shared understanding of the absurdities or delights of life. They are a powerful antidote to loneliness, a testament to the human capacity for joy even in the face of adversity. And what of the quiet, unwavering presence of someone who simply is there for you, without judgment or expectation? This is a profound form of love, often overlooked in its simplicity. It's the friend who listens patiently, the family member who offers silent support, the partner whose mere proximity brings comfort. These are the quiet strengths that underpin our lives, often unrecognized until their absence is felt. These ephemeral joys are not meant to erase the pain of loss, nor do they diminish the significance of past heartaches. Instead, they exist alongside them, creating a more complete and nuanced picture of the human experience. They are the vibrant colors painted onto a canvas that also bears shades of gray, making the overall artwork richer and more complex. In remembering these moments, we are not dwelling on the past in a sorrowful way, but rather appreciating the gifts that love has bestowed upon us in all its forms. It is a recognition that even a love that has ended, or a connection that has faded, leaves behind a trail of these luminous moments, like scattered pearls. These pearls, though small, hold immense value, contributing to the richness of our inner world. It's a gentle reminder that joy is not always a roaring fire, but often a flickering candle, offering warmth and light in the quiet corners of our lives. And just as a gardener appreciates every bloom, no matter how brief its season, so too must we cherish every moment of profound connection, for they are the very essence of a life well lived. They are the whispers of love that echo long after the grand declarations have faded, leaving an indelible mark on the heart. The true climax of these ephemeral joys is not in their fleeting nature, but in their cumulative effect, the realization that these countless small moments of connection, these shared silences and knowing glances, form the very bedrock of our resilience. They are the quiet, persistent pulse of life, affirming that even after the deepest sorrows, the capacity for profound joy remains, not as a replacement for what was lost, but as an enduring testament to love's unyielding presence. These glimpses of profound connection, however brief, are not merely pleasant diversions. They are essential sustenance. They remind us that love's tapestry is woven not just with grand threads of passion and devotion, but with the delicate, shimmering filaments of everyday grace. They offer a profound sense of gratitude, an appreciation for the quiet magic that resides in human connection, even amidst the melancholic undertones of life. By focusing on these luminous moments, we reaffirm the life-affirming power of love, understanding that even amidst sorrow, the capacity for deep joy remains, guiding us towards a more introspective view of our emotional landscape, the heart's own geography, marked by every step, every joy, every farewell. The heart, much like a well-worn path through a beloved forest, holds the echoes of every step taken, every joy shared, every farewell whispered. It is a landscape shaped not just by the grand vistas of passionate love, but by the quiet erosion of loss, the gentle growth of companionship, and the sudden startling bloom of unexpected connection. We carry within us a unique topography, an inner map etched with the contours of every significant relationship. Each encounter, each bond forged and at times fractured, leaves an indelible mark, subtly altering the terrain of our identity. How do these experiences, both luminous and shadowed, coalesce into the person we become? How do they inform our understanding of ourselves, our capacity for empathy, and our ultimate acceptance of life's intricate emotional spectrum? Consider for a moment the concept of identity. It is not a static monolith, but a constantly evolving narrative, profoundly influenced by the reflections we see in the eyes of others. From the earliest attachments of childhood, which psychological theories of self-development underscore as foundational, to the complex tapestry of adult relationships, our sense of self is perpetually being woven. A first love, however fleeting, often serves as a mirror, showing us aspects of ourselves we hadn't yet perceived. Perhaps a nascent capacity for devotion, or a vulnerability we hadn't known existed. These early imprints, like the initial brush strokes on a canvas, set the tone for the masterpiece that is our life. As we navigate the intricate dance of human connection, we learn not only about others, but, more importantly, about ourselves. A challenging relationship, for instance, though painful in its unfolding, can become a crucible for self-discovery, revealing hidden strengths or illuminating areas where growth is needed. It's akin to a river carving its way through stone. The friction and resistance, while arduous, ultimately shape the landscape into something new and often more profound. This internal landscape, this heart's geography, is not merely a collection of memories. It is an active, living terrain. The joy of a shared laugh with a dear friend, the quiet comfort of a long-standing partnership, the poignant ache of a love that has passed. All these experiences contribute to the rich soil from which our emotional intelligence grows. They teach us the nuances of empathy, the profound beauty of vulnerability, and the quiet resilience of the human spirit. Think of the way a seasoned gardener learns from every season. The bountiful harvest brings delight, but the unexpected frost, the persistent drought, or the sudden storm also impart invaluable lessons. Similarly, in the garden of our heart, both the flourishing blooms and the periods of dormancy, the vibrant colors and the muted grays, are essential for true understanding. To fully accept life's emotional spectrum means to embrace not just the sun-drenched days of happiness, but also the misty mornings of sorrow and the long, quiet evenings of longing. This acceptance is not a passive resignation, but an active, conscious choice to integrate all experiences into a coherent understanding of self. It is the recognition that every emotion, however uncomfortable, serves a purpose, offering insight and depth. The philosopher Khalil Gibran once penned, "Your joy is your sorrow unmasked," and the selfsame well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. This profound truth resonates deeply within the heart's geography. We cannot truly know the heights of joy without having traversed the valleys of sorrow. The two are inextricably linked, like the peaks and troughs of a mountain range, each defining the other. Consider the subtle ways our past relationships continue to inform our present. An old friend, perhaps one we haven't seen in years, might still influence our perspective on loyalty or humor. A first love, though long gone, might have instilled in us a certain romantic ideal or taught us a valuable lesson about boundaries. These echoes are not ghosts. They are foundational elements of our present self, like the ancient roots of a magnificent tree, silently anchoring its majestic branches. This introspective journey, this mapping of the heart's geography, allows us to cultivate a deeper sense of self-compassion. We begin to understand that our imperfections, our past mistakes, and our vulnerabilities are not flaws to be hidden, but rather integral parts of our unique story. They are the scars that tell tales of battles fought and survived, the weathered lines that speak of wisdom earned. In the quiet moments of reflection, we can trace the pathways of our emotional evolution. We can see how the tenderness of a parent's embrace shaped our capacity for trust, how the sting of betrayal taught us discernment, or how the unwavering support of a partner fostered our resilience. Each relationship, whether it lasted a season or a lifetime, contributes a unique thread to the intricate tapestry of our being. This process of integrating our experiences, of truly seeing and accepting our full emotional landscape, is a cornerstone of emotional intelligence. It allows us to respond to life's challenges with greater wisdom and grace, rather than simply reacting from old wounds or unexamined patterns. It empowers us to navigate new connections with an open heart, yet with the discernment born of experience. Ultimately, the heart's geography is a testament to the transformative power of love in all its forms. Not just the romantic, but the familial, the platonic, and even the love for oneself. It is a landscape of perpetual change, yet one that always retains the echoes of its past. And in this ongoing journey of introspection, we discover a profound truth: that every connection, every emotion, every experience contributes to the magnificent, complex, and utterly unique masterpiece that is our own soul. We become the cartographers of our own hearts, charting the peaks of joy, the valleys of sorrow, and the winding rivers of connection that flow through our lives. This deep understanding, this gentle acceptance, becomes a wellspring of inner peace. The true culmination of this journey lies not in erasing the melancholic undertones of loss, nor in clinging solely to the effervescent joys, but in recognizing that both are vital brushstrokes on the canvas of our being. It is in the quiet, profound realization that the self is not merely a product of these experiences, but a conscious agent, capable of integrating them into a rich, cohesive narrative. This acceptance, this embracing of the full spectrum, the light and the shadow, the laughter and the tears, is the ultimate act of self-love, transforming what might seem like a fractured past into a foundation of profound wisdom. This thoughtful introspection, this deep dive into the heart's geography, ultimately leads to a quiet acceptance of life's emotional richness. We come to understand that the scars we bear are not blemishes, but rather the markings of a life lived fully, loved deeply, and endured bravely. They are the very textures that give our inner landscape its unique beauty and depth. Through this lens, we find not just peace, but a profound gratitude for every step of the journey, for every connection that shaped us, and for the enduring capacity of the human heart to feel, to learn, and to grow. And as we accept this intricate, beautiful map of our own making, we begin to see how our individual journeys of love and loss contribute to a larger, shared human story, setting the stage for us to consider the enduring legacy that love leaves, not just within us, but in the world around us. Like a beloved book, certain relationships leave their indelible marks, not just on the pages of our memory, but on the very binding of our souls. This final chapter invites us to consider how these marks, these echoes of love, resonate far beyond the immediate moment, shaping not only our own lives, but the very fabric of the world around us. We've journeyed through the genesis of connection, the nurturing of bonds, the shadows of loss, and the ephemeral joys that punctuate our existence. Now, we arrive at a place of quiet contemplation, where the accumulated wisdom of a lifetime's emotional tapestry begins to reveal its profound and lasting patterns. It is here that we understand love not merely as an event, but as a continuous, flowing current, shaping legacies and offering a gentle, enduring hope. The impact of love, whether familial, romantic, or platonic, often extends far beyond the immediate individuals involved. Think of a grandparent whose quiet strength and unwavering kindness instilled a sense of resilience in their children, who then passed that gift to their own. This isn't just a personal memory. It's an intergenerational transmission of values, a subtle but powerful shaping of future lives. Psychological studies on intergenerational patterns suggest that emotional well-being, coping mechanisms, and even communication styles can echo through generations, a testament to the enduring power of early relationships. Consider the ripple effect of a single act of compassion, born from love. A community project, perhaps started by someone deeply committed to a cause, can grow and flourish, touching countless lives long after its founder is gone. This isn't artistic fiction. It's the observed reality of how human connection, fueled by genuine affection, can create tangible, positive change in social networks. The love for a neighbor, a cause, or simply for humanity itself can become a catalyst for collective good, leaving an imprint on society that outlives any individual. What enduring marks do we hope to leave behind? Not in stone, but in the hearts of others. Love, in this sense, becomes a form of immortality, not a grand mythical immortality, but a quiet, human one. The memory of a loved one, their particular laugh, the way they offered comfort, or the wisdom they shared, doesn't simply fade into the past. It becomes an internal guide, a quiet presence that informs our decisions and colors our perceptions. It's like carrying a treasured photograph in your mind's eye. It's always there, a touchstone. This is not to say grief ends, but rather that the essence of the person, the love shared, transforms into something that endures within us. We often hear about the concept of legacy in grand terms, fortunes left behind, monuments built. But the most profound legacy is often the intangible one, the way we loved, the kindness we extended, the empathy we cultivated. These are the threads that weave into the larger tapestry of humanity. For instance, a teacher who genuinely cares for their students might inspire a love of learning that sparks a future scientist or artist. That teacher's love, in a very real sense, becomes part of the student's future achievements. Have you ever considered how a small act of kindness you performed might have rippled out, touching lives you may never know? This wisdom gained from a lifetime of loving and losing is a precious commodity. It's the understanding that joy and sorrow are not opposites to be avoided, but rather two sides of the same coin, each enriching the other. It's the quiet acceptance that vulnerability is not a weakness, but the very gateway to profound connection. When we reflect on the entirety of our emotional journey, we begin to see patterns, lessons learned, and a deeper appreciation for the intricate dance of human relationships. This introspection allows us to integrate these experiences, transforming raw emotion into refined understanding. We learn to hold both the bittersweet memories and the vibrant present with equal grace. It's much like a seasoned sailor who has navigated both calm seas and fierce storms. Their wisdom isn't just about avoiding danger, but about understanding the ocean's true nature. How has your own emotional landscape been shaped by the ebb and flow of love and loss? And so, as we stand at the culmination of this exploration, we realize that love, in its myriad forms, is not a fleeting emotion, but a foundational force. It is the very essence of human connection, the invisible hand that shapes our identities, our communities, and our collective future. The quiet hope that emerges from this understanding is not a naive optimism, but a profound grounded belief in the enduring power of empathy, kindness, and shared humanity. It is the recognition that even when faces fade and voices quiet, the love that was given and received continues to resonate, an eternal echo in the grand symphony of existence. This enduring presence, this internal guide, is perhaps the most comforting truth of all. It's the realization that no love, however brief or tragic, is ever truly lost. It simply transforms, becoming a part of who we are and who we will become. This journey through love's complexities offers a profound sense of shared understanding. We are not alone in our experiences of joy and sorrow, connection, and loss. Each heart carries a similar, intricate map, etched with the contours of affection and longing. And in this shared humanity, there is solace. The wisdom gained from a life lived fully, embracing all its emotional richness, is a legacy in itself. It is a quiet confidence in the resilience of the human spirit, a testament to our capacity to love, to grieve, and to find meaning in every step of the journey. It is a gentle affirmation that the love we've known, the love we've given, and the love we continue to cultivate truly shapes who we become and leaves an indelible mark on the world, a mark of quiet, enduring hope. As the echoes of these reflections gently recede, may you carry with you the comforting thought that love, in all its forms, is not merely a chapter in a book, but the very binding that holds the pages of our lives together. Its legacy is not just in what we leave behind, but in how deeply we have lived, how profoundly we have connected, and how beautifully we have loved. And that, in itself, is a quiet, powerful triumph.